Good morning. It's Fish, the Beach Bum Investor, here for your cryptocurrency discussion and report for the 8th of October 8th of November 2017. Just going to post up in Discord, let the guys know I'm here. I'm a bit late today. One moment. So Ethereum's Parity has been hacked, which has caused some pretty big, let the guys know, retracements. Kong Savage Ruthless is Ian Floyd. How are you, man? Crypto Chronicus. How's things, guys? I don't suppose, guys, I'm just in the opposite end of the house because there's not opposite end. I just turned around because it's raining today, so it's really little light. So if I did it over on the couch over there, I'd get nothing. So I'm just sitting over here today. Hey, guys, how are you? What was hacked, man? Ethereum's Parity was hacked. Basically, $150 million of Ether has been locked up for the moment. So, freaking you out, move back? No, man, I've got to sit here for today. Sorry. See me, smashing into the glass behind me and everything. Yeah. Do you like this side better? Yeah, that's my Fisher shirt. That was my uniform in the World Championships in 2015. So yeah, sitting next to my trophy cabinet. But I actually gave away my national title, so I can't show that to you. I gave it to Paddy Franklin. He's a up and coming young bodyboarder who came second in the junior titles this year, but should have won it. I've got video evidence to prove that. So I gave him my national title from 2015. Also gave away the bodyboard I rode in the world titles. So there's a kid crying outside my house and I want to give it to him. Don't know if he's ever surfed in his life, but hope he does because that's that was a special board. G'day, Grinkers. How are you, man? Yeah. Crypto Chronicus is making an early point about the Ethereum Parity hack. He said, look, he wouldn't worry too much because it's locked. It's not lost or stolen. It could have been way worse, but it isn't. It still brings some interesting questions to the future of Ethereum. We've got a great article here that Xiao dropped on our Discord group. Thank you for doing that, Johnny Crypto, Xiao. I don't know if you're in the chat yet. So I'm gonna go through a little bit of that article in today's chat, and also just get your thoughts on what this means for Ethereum going forward and what you'd like to see happen from here as crypto enthusiasts for those in the chat today. So yeah, I think it's a really important article. What I'm going to do is I'll pop it in the description for the description for this video for people watching later, so you can have a look at it. For those watching here now, I'll put a link in the YouTube message, the chat, and that way we can all have a look at the article that Jazz dropped on Discord for us. It is over on our Discord group as well. Let me just get into the chat here. It's been pretty steady overnight, the economy. No huge swings to report. There's a couple of good moves up and down as usual, but the main news to come out recently from mine is this Ethereum Parity hack, and I'm just wondering how the market's going to actually respond to it, so it will be interesting. Okay, popping that in, boom. Oh yeah, that's a good point, Hourglass. Yeah, we got that. Well, for people looking to play the futures market, that icon futures market did dip. I saw it at $1. Hourglass is just saying he got it at 90 cents. I think that's really, really good buy. Crypto Chronica said, what are your thoughts on hackers creating infinite loops in the Ethereum code somehow? Weird thought. Probably not likely, but still intriguing. Yeah, it is intriguing, man. It's difficult for me to comment on the specifics of the programming side of things because, as you guys know, I'm not a programmer, I'm not a coder, and I don't pretend to be good at tech. What I'd like to comment from my perspective, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this as well, but how this is actually going to affect the market. We've already seen a little bit of a shakeout. Let me just get the price up now on CoinMarketCap. We'll have a look at the overall market, starting with Ethereum, given the news out. Yeah, I mean, it's seen a little bit of a retracement over the last 24 hours. It's down 2%, but it's kicked back like a third of the percent in the last hour. So I don't know if the news is still filtering through to the crypto world, or whether that's as much as we'll see and it'll start popping back over the 300 again. It's difficult to tell at this time. The market overall looks pretty steady, but if we just get onto this article that Zhao popped up on our Discord group, I think it's really important to go through some of the points in this article for the Ethereum parity hack, and it does pose some really, really interesting questions. And I like the article, well written. This one's from trustnodes.com, published November 7. So published yesterday. I don't know I'm sorry, I'm not sure what time zone that publishing stamp is in, so I'm not exactly sure how recent this article is, but certainly within the last 24 hours anyway. Bitcoin finally pushed over 7,100 in the last hour. No worries, Mike T. We'll get to that in a second, man. We're just going to have a look at this Ethereum parity hack to start with, because there has been 500,000 Ethereum frozen, so $150 million roughly. And one of the things that I liked about this article is that it posed a couple of good questions, and it said, can they basically fork now? And what they related it back to is actually something that happened in 2010 that a lot of people probably wouldn't be aware of for Bitcoin. And I just want to read this little extract from the article, and it says, Bitcoin forked in 2010 after a bug was able to create billions of Bitcoins out of thin air. Ethereum forked in 2016 after the biggest smart contract was hacked. So this is not a new series of events. You've got to remember Ethereum's 2 years old, and it does go on to say that in this article. It is going to have teething issues. It is going to have development hurdles that they're going to have to overcome. For me, I don't see this as a long-term massive issue, provided that Ethereum hasn't been lost. Now there is, I mean, that is a question still, I guess, because I'm not sure that people can actually see their Ethereum in their wallet if they're locked out. Hourglass, you're not buying the real icon, man. You're buying I'll get back to that, dude. Let's just cover this Ethereum first, and then we'll get onto icon, I promise you. You know I'm covering that real close, bro. So we'll get onto that in a second. It goes on to say, Bitcoin forked at a time when the community was far too small and any fork ideologies had not developed. Ethereum's fork in 2016 was more testing because some, primarily Bitcoiners, strongly argued against it. However, both forks went through fairly smoothly, and both currencies went which way that either they were positive events or the market didn't care. So that's a really interesting point. And I got, like, when I found out about the replay attacks on Ethereum, I actually got really bearish on it, and then the rest of the market just didn't. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I sort of figured that the market had forgiven it. Now this is the really important. This is the crux of the article for me, where it asks a couple of really, really important questions. So I'm just going to read this out again, quoting from the article on trustnodes.com. Ethereum's parity hacked, 500,000 Ether frozen is the article. I'll put the link up in the description here. The question in this instance is firstly whether everyone is absolutely sure those funds are fully frozen and cannot be unfrozen without a fork. If the answer is yes, which looks likely, the Ethereans may have to decide whether to save those funds or to let them burn. So that's interesting. The argument against it is at a basic and selfish level might be that supply would be taken out. If demand remains constant, then price might rise. However, that's the supply of many Ethereans who have worked very hard for it. They may turn bitter against the currency, which itself might gain a reputation of being unsafe. I like how it takes like a balanced view here. So if they're gonna fork, if they're going to fork, then yeah, it is potential that the Ethereum community is going to have to make a really big decision on some, like, basically 150 million worth of Ethereum. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's a good article, guys. I suggest you go and read the whole thing. I'm not going to pick it out piece by piece. We'll get on to some of the other coins. I just wanted to make you all aware of the reason for the retracement in the Ethereum price, and let you make your own decisions on whether that news and whether that article and whether the Parity hack has you changing your mind on Ethereum and where you stand on it. All right, let's get back to the chat. I'm going to go up a bit because there was a few comments come through while I was going on this. Okay. Crypto Chronica said BTC Gold, still no announcement after they said only 48 more hours. Yeah, I haven't really been keeping an eye close on it, dude. I don't really care. I'd just as soon give away my Bitcoin Gold, and I never really wanted it. You guys know that. I was mainly into alts before that, and I got the pump after the Bitcoin Gold was issued. So I won't be receiving a lot of Bitcoin Gold anyway. But that's interesting, man. The promise is broken. Yeah, Bitcoin finally pressed back over 7,100. We said that. Now, this is something I wanted to get back to that Hourglass said. Hourglass said, wait, am I buying the real icon, ICX, on HIT BTC? Laugh out loud. What do you mean, the future market? Well, Hourglass, no, you're not buying the real ICX because the coins haven't been distributed, mate. We're still undergoing the KYC process. So I don't think you can actually trade the coins. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but the coins won't be officially distributed until they're distributed as a whole at the end of the KYC process. That would be my understanding of it. So what HIT BTC does quite often is they open up futures markets, which is basically trading in an IOU. Now, essentially, there's no real issue with that, although I have had reports of people losing coins on that particular exchange. Now, they're unconfirmed reports. They're just literally just anecdotal evidence, just stuff I've heard while I've been chatting to people in the economy. So, yeah, no, you're not actually buying the coins, as I'm aware, unless it is possible that HIT BTC will have a plan to buy the coins once they hit market to fund the coins that are being traded on the futures market. So you will actually be able to transfer them to an Icon wallet, but I can't guarantee that, man, because you'd have to read into the fine print about what futures trading entails in HIT BTC. I honestly don't think you'd be trading the actual coin itself. You're just trading an IOU is basically what it is. CME said BTC futures markets will be Sunday, Saturday. Cool. Crypto Chronicler said, at Hourglass, when you see something trading on an exchange that currently still does not have a network and wallet running to support it yet, that means it's an IOU for when it does become available. Yeah, exactly right, Crypto Chronicles. Thank you for clarifying that for Hourglass. Is the shoulder getting any better? Mike T, I had massage and acupuncture yesterday, man, and I got heaps more movement. I couldn't even get it past there yesterday. So, yeah, I'm doing some stretches. Thanks for asking. I'm sure no one cares about that, so I'm going to move on. If it forks the blockchain with the funds locked, will become another Ethereum Classic 2, is what Crypto Chronicles is saying. Or whatever they want to call it, and we will have a new blockchain with the unlocked funds credit to rightful owners, keeping the Ethereum name. No, it's speculative. Hourglass has just said, oh, so it's IOUs. He said, so we don't know what the actual price of Icon is going to be. No, we don't, man. We don't. It's a good indicator, but my thoughts on Icon is that it will go bigger than what it's trading at futures, and I'll give you a reason for that. I think a lot of people are pretty eager to hold the actual coin. Not a lot of people eager to trade in IOUs. It's a very, very small market. HIT BTC's, as far as I know, the only market being traded. And there has been anecdotal rumors of security issues previously in that exchange. So the real big investors aren't going to touch it at futures. So I don't think what we're getting, the price action at the moment on Icon, I don't think it's a fair indication. Let me have a quick look. Ow. See where it's sitting. ICX is the code for Icon for anyone interested, which will be all of you very soon, no doubt. What's this thing tearing up the charts that we could have got into with Fish and his investment crew? Come on, computer, play the game. Oh, frustrating. Nothing works when you need it to. Here we go. Why is that happening? Sorry, people. Won't be a second. The one-armed man doing his computer thing. Okay, I'll try it again. ICX. There we go. $1.26. So it really did come up after, like it flash crashed from $2 to $1. But you guys have got to remember, this is a 470,000 volume. That's nothing. It's just, it's not enough to like, it gives you an indication, but it's, I mean, the volatility of that, you're not likely to see, because at $2 a coin, it will actually be an $800 million company. So to drop from $2 to $1, $400 million has to get sold out. I just don't think that's going to happen once it hits those sort of highs. I could be wrong. I think it can retrace from $2, but $2 to $1, I just don't see it happening. But yeah, so it's not it is actually a futures market, man. You're not actually holding the coins. As far as I'm aware, they're not going to pay it to you. It's just a futures market that you're trading in. Thoughts on Byte Bull? I haven't really looked at it, man. You've got 8 million of them? Okay, cool. Sunday through Friday is what Crypto Chronicus was saying will be the time to, I think he was saying before it was the time to stock up. I'm going to get back down to live chat. BTC shot up $300 while we're here chatting, suddenly. Are you serious? Let me go and have a look. I better not be pulling my leg. You guys know I have this effect on the market. PIVX is probably mooning right now as well. You know, it was really funny. I noticed some an interesting thing. There's someone selling off like 42 PIVX at a time every couple of minutes. Let's have a look at Bitcoin first and foremost. Yeah, 72.44 according to CoinMarketCap. Yeah, it did shoot up a bit. Interesting. Let's go and have a look at the old Bittrex account, see that sitting. Ooh, like that. That's looking nice. Hey, Lisk had a good run up. Crypto Chronicus has said, yeah, BTC sudden swing. Lisk had a really good run up. It got above $5. It was at like $5.20 before. Let me have a look at that. It's one I was calling too cheap below 5 with the rebranding imminent. It's starting to dip now. It's still above 5 though. $5.13. Good run up. Oh, see, I can't lift that arm properly still. Yeah. Good run up. Yeah, so one of the things I did notice was interesting trade. I've picked up PIVX at 37001, and every time I put the buy order up, it gets filled pretty much straight away. So it's interesting to see what's happening there. Sorry, 39,701. And it's interesting because there was a 33,000 PIVX buy order, which is about 33,000 PIVX, that's close enough to 100,000 US dollars, and someone's been hitting it. So it's a legitimate buy order, and it's still got 6,000 left, but it's been eaten away. So it's going to be interesting. I got some buy orders placed lower in case it gets through that, for sure. But it was a whole lot of buy wall to get through. So be interesting to see whether it actually chews there. I picked up quite a bit at 39701, and then I've set further down just to see what happens from there. So yeah, PIVX is going to be interesting to watch today. See what happens. It looks like good sideways consolidation to me, but having said that, there's just clearly one person. Like you can see it, it's probably Wilkie. 41.807. It's the exact same amount being sold off every couple of minutes. Oh, they just caught on to me because they just sold 2,000 at a time. It's interesting. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, whether that builds up support or whether it drops down to the next level. I think long term you're getting really, really good buying on PIVX at the moment, under $3. It's really solid buying. Please make your own decisions as always, but yeah, I think that's great buying. I think a lot of people are planning to pump alts as well after the fork. There's a really good resource that got put up on our Discord group this morning. I want to say it was BB Junkie. I think it was BB Junkie who put this resource up. And again, I'll put this in the description as well, so you can jump in there and grab this. But this is your countdown to the SegWit 2x activation. So that's when they're going to take the snapshot for the block 494784. And that's giving you basically a rough countdown. And what they say on there is that the closer we get to that block number, the more accurate that countdown is going to be. So currently showing 8 days, 13 hours, 20 minutes and 3 seconds and counting. And it's a really, really handy little tool. And we get cool stuff like this over in our Discord group all the time. So really, really helpful things like that. So that's going to allow us all to keep an eye on exactly when that block hits, and if we have a plan to move from, well, a lot of the group have a plan to move from Bitcoin to altcoins at that time. For me, I've already pretty much done it during these lows, as you guys know. Crypto Chronicus just said, have you heard of the large Bitcoin collider? Yes, I have. It runs underground between Sweden and I can't remember where else. Just mines Bitcoin all day. Let's see what else we've got. What else have we been keeping an eye on? Lisk was one that had a good run up. Where was it? Komodo's just started to dip a bit. It did have a huge run up over the couple of days after we spoke about it, which is usually the effect of me. But it's actually dipping quite hard at the moment. 37,125. Actually, it's gone lower. 37,003 being the bid and 37,100 being the ask. 269. It did hit highs of 297 earlier in the morning, so that's a significant retracement for those who've been waiting to get into Komodo. That's interesting. There's really good support at 37,000 exactly. There's a $12,000 buy order on Bittrex at 37,000, so pretty good support there. I don't know. I think I might try and take that as support, and I might even try and get a bit more at 37,003 because that would be the top bid at the moment. And that's the ask. Actually, there's not much of a spread at the moment, so this is one time where I might buy it straight off the book. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so this is your bid book, and that's your ask book. Oh, you were being serious about the pool called the Large Bitcoin Collider? No, I hadn't heard of them. I don't know the names in the mining pools, man. Anyway, so you can see there is that you've got these, well, 36997 being the bid, and 37. So it's only 3 Satoshis difference. It's very rare that the spread's that small with such a big buy order under it. So It was, having said that, it was 12,000 a minute ago. Now it's 5,000 by order. So 7,000 got chipped through pretty quickly. But yeah, I think it's good buying long term still at that price, especially if you're looking to get into that Mondays ICO, because you will get 30% off your coins, as I've suggested before. They've managed to guess the private keys of some Bitcoin addresses by pulling GPUs together. Seriously? I'll have to read more about that. Maybe we can do a show on it. The Large Bitcoin Collider. I thought the probability of guessing that sequence of the private keys was like stupid, like really, really high, highly unlikely. I'm gonna have to have a look into that and research it more before I can comment too much. Crypto Chronicus, have you put some stuff on our Discord group about that? That's weird. All right. Crypto Chronicus is saying they sent the BTC to a new address for the owners. I'm gonna have to read more on that. I'm not sure if you put any info on our Discord group about that. Be good to see. You will post it. Okay, thanks, man. Then I can have a look at it and we can look at it for another show. For sure. Just having a look if that trend is continuing on PIVX. It's been interesting me all morning. Goodness gracious, that buy wall's been pretty much broken through. 33,000. Interesting. Someone doesn't want PIVX at 280. I don't know why. I'll take it. Well, I already have. Now I'll wait and see if they want to keep going low. Actually, I'm going to watch this live to see if that was sort of this person's low point. They don't want to sell it any lower. We'll see what happens. It's about to go through now if they keep the trend up. So interesting to watch. Hey, what I was thinking as well is we might try and get a show going for the actual live block number for SegWit2X, so we can see what happens with the market live. It'll be interesting to all hang out together and see what happens during that time. Crypto Chronicus said PIVX has been a day trader's dream. Is it you, mate? Thought it was Wilkie. Let's have a look. It's going to be interesting to see if once this breaks through whether the guy stops selling. So he's just broken through 39700. Bit of a live thing here. We'll see if he goes back. So the next level of support was at 39600. I just want to see if he goes down there. He has. Interesting. Cheap buying on PIVX at the moment. You could get a good retracement. Look for it to start picking up after this because it's already too cheap now. It looks like this guy's still selling off. Oh. Too cheap, Wilkie. I'm going to snap it up. Yeah, so have a look at PIVX. When you see that sell-off, there's one guy selling 41.998 every time. Honestly, you go and watch it. When that stops, that might be a time to have a look. Not right now because he's still selling off. So there you go. I'm telling you not to buy off the buy book. I'm telling you not to buy straight away because there's a guy selling off. It's clearly one person, perhaps a bot. And I would just wait till that finishes. Once that settles down, I think it's a good time to get back in because the price of PIVX is really cheap at that price. Yeah, Mike. I heard that Mike said that I heard Zcoin developers bribe people to vote for Zcoin on Binance. PIVX took second place. Man, Mike T, I don't know what is considered bribing, man. Like we offered some specials and Vertcoin offered some specials and everyone was just trying to get listed on Binance. I understand it, but to be honest, I actually have inside word that this is another Trump and Putin election fix. It wasn't actually Zcoin at all. Trump and Putin have rigged another election. Breaking news here on the Crypto Wave Investment Crew channel. Crypto Chronicus said, man, I sold my PIVX at 48K sats. What did you sell it for? Yeah, the Zcoin has a whole scheme on that. PIVX did the same, but less aggressive. Oh, okay, fake news. Yeah. Man, I think all the communities would have done something to help their members be able to afford that vote for sure. I actually pitched to our community that was an exercise in futility, just trying to, you know, just compete against each other in buying votes. I said, let's inspire people to vote. So do you inspire people to want to vote for PIVX, and they'll pay the 13 cents themselves. Good boy. At least you bought it back, Cryptochronicus. Cryptochronicus said sold it to buy more at 35k sats. Ha ha ha. Yeah, we did beat out VTC in the end. I saw the votes, man. But, you know, second place didn't do us much good for mine, so I would have liked to have seen us win that vote. Well done to Zcoin. I'm actually only joking about the Trump rigging thing. And like I said, guys, I did actually say this when we were looking at, like, we were only just short of being in first place at the point. I said, look, it doesn't really matter long term. Long term, we're going to be listed on that exchange. They're going to want us. Like, what kind of exchange gets taken seriously if they don't have the top 50 coins listed? Is that a fair question? Long-term top 50 coin. What sort of exchange gets taken seriously if they don't have that listed? So do we have to, you know, win community votes? And look, I've made a trading video for Binance. I've done a wrap for them. If that's not enough, well, we'll just wait until they want us. That's the way I feel about it. I'm not sure if PIVX community gearing up for another run at it, but for me, I don't really care. I reckon, honestly, long term, it's better for Binance that we're on there. They're getting, in my opinion, far more out of it than what we are, because there's, I mean, decentralized exchanges are going to be massive in 2018. And if exchanges like Binance want to be competitive in that market, they're going to have a good range of coins. Now, they can either choose to do that by community votes are a good idea, but it gets out of hand when you know, multiple thousands of people are getting paid to vote. And yeah, so I think long-term Binance are going to want us. I think they're going to need us to be competitive. If they want to be taken seriously, they're going to have serious coins on there. We're a top 50 coin consistently. And yeah, I really think that's, yeah, Mike T just said Binance is constantly adding new coins. They'll get to PIVX. So yeah, they will, man, for sure. Binance is the future of finance, says Hourglass. Yeah, that's one of their slogans. I would question how they can be the future of finance without having a proof of stake coin with zero coin protocol on there. But in any case. Yeah, I saw that, Floyd. I'm not sure what that's about. Floyd made a point that the Cryptopia wallet for PIVX is under maintenance. I'm not sure why. Have no idea. It's confused me why they've done that. I saw that this morning. It's like a Band-Aid for a bandage, says Hourglass. Yeah. Excuse me for one moment. Jehovah's Witness, I could have asked them to come in and get their thoughts on Bitcoin, but let's see what happens. Yeah, I know it says out of sync, Floyd. That's mate, I'm just looking at my wallet now. It's fine. Up and running, all good. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like Cryptopia might have just let their own personal wallet get out of sync. They might have had a shutdown, need to reopen it. I have no idea, but I know it's not completely under maintenance because it's not on Bittrex. I'd have to get in contact with Cryptopia to find out what it was. Nah, that wasn't the fuzz, mate. The fuzz don't come around here. I don't do anything illegal. Yeah, so has anyone got any coins they want to have a look at before we wrap up? I'm going to call it quits soon today. I have a stack of things to do. I'm going to make a Litecoin trading video for you. I did one take of it beforehand, and I'm not usually a two-take person, but I just wasn't happy with it. It was taking too long and I was blabbing on, and that's really more for this show. The undercover fuzz, nah. Pretty good costumes if they were, man. Didn't look like undercover fuzz to me. No, just checking it out. See what else has been interesting. Let's have a look on the coinmarketcap.com. Hey, you know what I want to have a quick look at? Oh, Power Ledger. Yeah, we can have a look at that for sure. Power Ledger and Litecoin are two I want to talk about, because Litecoin did actually run up 10%. We knew it was too cheap under like that $55 and $52 was a joke. So we've had good run-ups. Now it's gone back up to $61.76. And funnily enough, I got sells on Verge and PIVX against Litecoin as Litecoin was going up. How does that work? I literally got prices of close enough to $4 for PIVX against, and picked up Litecoin with it. I don't understand that at all. Anyway, so that happened. And I'll show you a bit more about that on the video that I'm going to release later today, trading in Litecoin, because it's been one of my most profitable moves. Trading in Litecoin over at Cryptopia really does me well. Okay, so Power Ledger, Aussie project. Let's have a look. Where's it sitting? I want to see what exchanges it's been on. I haven't really had too much of I had a quick look at it. It is down 21%. So it's taken big retracements for anyone who is interested. Me personally, I haven't had a good enough look into it at this stage. I'm just going to have a look at which markets it's been exchanged on. It's in Binance, Cryptopia, and Ether Delta. So there you go. There's Power Ledger. Current market cap is $60 million. Trade volume of 10 million. That's quite high. A 10 million trade volume for 60 million market cap coin. Unfortunately, a lot of that's going to be traded out of it, unfortunately, with the price dropping 21%. There is actually 1 billion Power Ledger tokens, or POWR, as they're being referred to as the trade symbol. I'll have to have a look more into it before I can make any comments on it specifically. I do know it's an Aussie one. Partnering with Tesla. Hadn't heard that. Z, I did get an email this morning, man. I haven't read it yet. Z's just asked if we have to do anything for Viewly, man. I haven't had a look. I'll give you we'll do a rundown on that tomorrow. I'll have a quick look at the email. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. So welcome to the channel, Josh. Power tokens. Lots of different white papers in different languages. Good idea. Power Ledger applications, peer-to-peer trading. This class of play. I had a quick look at this, so I don't want to go over it sort of quickly now. But for those of you interested in Power Ledger and want to get a rundown of it, the white papers there. It's a good website, nice and easy to navigate. So it's powerledger.io. All right, let's have a quick go back to coinmarketcap.com. Just want to see what else is too cheap at the moment. PIVX is one that was glaringly too cheap for mine. Ethereum's a bit of a wait and see how the market reacts to it for mine. I already stocked up at 280, you guys know that. So I'm not going to sell. I'm just going to wait and see, because I think long term it's good anyway. Oh, geez, there's some good growing figures starting to come back into this market. It's nice to see. Really, actually, hard to find ones that haven't taken big run-ups. You know, Binance coin itself took a monster run-up, $1.89, $1.89. And as I said, I got that because I use it for trading anyway. If you pay your fees in Binance coins, you get half the fees. It's 0.05% trade. I still think 10x is really cheap at $1.68. There's another one. PIVX, 10x. What else we got here? Factum's had a good kick back, but I still think at $16.66 is cheap. We were sort of calling that around $14 and $15. I think I called it even higher than that, $18. I still think it's way too cheap. Trezor T, have I seen it? No, I haven't, Cryptoconicus. The idea is awesome. You can be your own electricity company and distribute electricity to your neighbors. This is the kind of shit where the Internet of Things becomes profitable and commercial. Yeah, I like the idea of decentralized. I've spoken about it before, about the exchange rates you get for putting power back into the grid in Australia. Unless you signed up early and you got yourself a ripping deal, you don't get a lot. And I'm sure your neighbour would be happy to pay for that electricity, keep the middleman out of it. Oh, really? Mike T said Binance just opened BNB trading pairs with 0 fees for the next 3 weeks. I'm guessing that's why it's price boosted. I'm sure it is. Although 0.05% at the, like, I'm never trading, you know, $1 million at a time. So 0.05% for me is not huge fees to pay. So I'm not necessarily worried about going straight to the BNB one for that. Hey, Salt had a pretty good kickback. I bought that around the $2.80 mark. I got 5 coins. So I've gone from $14 to $15.40. So looking to retire soon. Just having a quick look what else we've got before I check out, guys. There was a couple I wanted to have a look at. Zcoin's at $15.32. So funnily enough, it really didn't. It hasn't seemed to have pumped the price. The fact that it's getting listed on the Binance exchange. Yeah, I know. It's a different world. Hourglass is just making a comment with regards to how quickly this market moves compared to the stock exchange. You got to remember, man, it's emerging technology, so it's super volatile stuff. A lot of people have just got in speculatively, and a lot of people are just learning about it. So really volatile market, guys. I am going to check out for today. What I might do is have a little bit more of a look at a couple of coins for tomorrow, so we can go over some new stuff. We had those couple that Bow bought in. Tron was one of them. I can't remember the other one, but there's a few I can have a look at. So what we might do tomorrow is have a look at some new coins. Mike T, I'll just answer that before we go. Mike T said, I don't really understand the benefit of Zcoin versus something like PIVX or BTC. Well, I can tell you there's sort of 3 different things, I guess. As far as I'm aware, Zcoin is proof of work, right? So it's a proof of work zero coin protocol implementation. Bitcoin is not zero coin protocol, but is proof of work. And PIVX is proof of stake zero coin protocol. So they all actually do provide slightly different value propositions to the market, man. Just to answer that question before I check out, I'll have to check that on Zcoin. I'm not sure if it's proof of work or proof of stake, but I think Zcoin is proof of work. I'm not 100% sure. Let me double check on that. Hourglass, that's got to be your call, man. Hourglass has just asked me, in my opinion, should I sell the Icon ICX Futures Markets token at a profit? Man, anytime you're taking profit is a good day. It's very hard for me to say hold on to it in the futures market, because I don't understand where you get your tokens at the end of the day. And if you never get them, you might want to just sell out for the profit now and buy whatever you can get when it hits market, or when it takes a dip, you know, when it's actually an available coin. It's got to be up to you, dude. But anytime you've traded to profit is good trading, right? I think there's going to be a long enough time period between, like, you got to think about it. The token's not going to hit until December. It's not going to hit exchanges till December, most likely. I wouldn't think so. So we've still got quite a bit of time for the futures market to pump again up to that $2 mark and perhaps beyond. So if I was looking to trade out, I'd probably set sells around those marks, man. That's just my personal opinion. It may never get there. It may go well over there. But I think there's enough time between now and when Icon actually hits the market to get a better price than what you're getting right this second. So let me just check the price while before I say that, because it might already be up around that $2 mark. But man, I did actually suggest long before it hit $2 that it would hit resistance around $2 or $3. And yeah, so at $1.20, man, I don't know, it could go either way, but I would be more surprised to see it retracing from there than I would be to see it at $2 again before it actually hits market on the futures market. So for me, it'd be a hold up until that $2 mark, or just before it. Up to you though, bro. If you're in profit, maybe it's a good time. Hey, market's just gone over 201 billion again while we're sitting here. I'll just get a quick update on that before we check out. Whoa, Bitcoin took a steep jump. It's back up to 7,331. Just going to see what's happening on the rest of the market, but starting to come back pretty strong. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. The odds are starting to bleed a little bit from it, but all in all, pretty good. Hey, happy investing for the day. There are still some bargains around for those coins that you really, really like. There's plenty that have taken retracements, ARC, PIVX, you know, from historical highs. ARC, PIVX, 10X. Even Lisk is still $3 under where it's historically high. So yeah, please do your research, but happy investing. I'll catch you all tomorrow for another cryptocurrency discussion. See ya, fish out. When I can get the Google thing to finish. Oh, this is so embarrassing. This time. See ya.